Good evening, everyone, and welcome to episode 142 of SDGC for Thursday, April 4th. If you're not aware, Super Deformed Gamescast meets right here each and every Thursday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where we discuss the latest gaming headlines with a wide variety of panel members and guests. We also do a whole bunch of other stuff as time allows, like a separate show about movies and television, community game streaming, even though we fucking haven't done that in a while and we need to get back to it, and a mental health support show. If you've been along for the ride so far, welcome home, and if not, feel free to stick around and maybe throw us a follow. Every single podcast is archived the next day on our YouTube channel for those who like to watch, and you can find us on all major podcast services for those who like to listen, like me.
John, did you just suggest that we all climb back in the fuck barrel?
I did. That's what I heard. Rebecca, I would argue that none of us ever left the fuck barrel. We're all still stuck in the fuck barrel. What's going on, everybody? We got a big, strong, healthy episode tonight. There is a lot to talk about. So. Everybody you see on this podcast right now has either been to GDC, or
just me,
just you, or
just me.
or has been to PAX East. And we had a big ass PAX East. A bunch of us on this podcast. Excuse me, I'm getting over some allergies, and it fucking sucks. But a bunch of us actually. Hold on a minute. Are we?
We're fine.
We're good.
Okay, because hold on, the actual Twitch channel looks
it's
like
fine.
Is it fine? Okay,
it's fine. Everybody's responding. And
that's weird. It's coming up. It's coming
good.
up weird for me. Like there's no video, but whatever. I just want to make sure we were cool. Anyway, there's a lot to talk about tonight.
For the record, John's webcam wasn't working for like 15 minutes before this episode started, so we've already had our technical issue for the night. You're not allowed to have anymore.
There's no such thing as one technical issue for us.
Exactly. Yeah.
Especially if we have a guest on.
It's like, well, you know what? I would consider Josh to be more of a friend than a guest. I don't really consider Josh a guest.
They can be two things at once.
Yeah, Josh, I mean, I could be a friendly guest.
Yeah, you could be a guest who's friendly.
He's been through the fuck barrel and lived.
There's nobody lives through the fuck barrel. They just cope through the fuck barrel. So guys, there's a lot to talk about tonight. And I want to focus on a couple things. One, I want to talk about GDC. I want to talk about PAX, obviously, of course, Rebecca. Rebecca, I actually want to start with GDC, but there's something very important that I want to stress here. I don't want to just talk about what we played. I don't want to just talk about what we saw. I want to talk about what we ate as well, because we found this fucking barbecue joint in Boston. Unfortunately, Justin didn't get to go because he was at the He was at this.
I'll talk about where I was.
Okay,
I'll talk about where I was when we get
there.
But
I really want later on. I want to talk about this barbecue joint because holy fucking shit, the pork belly burnt tips. God damn. Oh, you know.
By the way, John felt bad that I couldn't go to this, so he lied to me and told me it was bad. And like the night that they went, and I was just like. I was more disappointed that they had a bad meal that night than like...
it came from a good place in my heart.
The plan was never to tell you it was bad because that would have been a lie. The plan was to tell you the truth that they had run out of brisket.
They did run out of brisket.
Infer your own conclusions from that. That way you wouldn't feel like...
Well, you started there, but John kept going.
Yeah, that's the problem.
You know what? I fucking felt bad for Justin. All right, you heathens, and I didn't want him to think that he had missed a delicious meal. I don't know what kind of fucking bullshit hors d'oeuvres or like finger food they had at this event.
Yeah, I had a few hors d'oeuvres. Where I was cool, so
they were dreamy.
A few hors d'oeuvres.
Finger food, hors d'oeuvres, like weenies on a stick, or
weenies on a stick?
Pigs in a blanket or fucking olives and cheese, standard gaming convention fare. I don't know if that's true or not.
All right.
No, it is.
So all right, so anyway, video game talk.
Real quick before we do that, I have a special treat for everybody.
Oh,
do you want it now? No. Do you want it now, or do you?
I don't want it at all.
Show?
I don't want it.
I want it right now because otherwise it's like the whole thing where the teacher says they're going to pass back your exams at the end of class, and you have to sit through the whole class wondering.
Half the reason Josh is guesting tonight is because I told him I was planning on doing this, and he's very excited.
Oh no! What are you doing?
So I am planning on doing a dramatic reading of John's drunken tweets.
I may have been
End of
very...
the episode. End of the episode.
End of the episode.
Yeah, that's a closer.
That is a close.
That's
Apparently,
closer.
apparently the chat wants it now.
No. Sorry, you gotta
No,
stick. You gotta
no.
stick around, chat.
No, they
Let
have
me
to
tell you.
stay.
Let me
They
tell
have
you.
to stay.
All right.
Oh my
had
God.
I totally forgot about this because I was drunk when you told me you were going to do this.
This is like, is this the same night that he was tweeting and it was
Yes,
stuff like
it's that-
Slupple
yeah,
or whatever?
Slapple. You got to get your fucking slapple.
Yeah.
All right.
Slupple. Don't worry.
Yeah, a lot of those were after we had gone to bed and assumed John had gone to bed as well.
Oh no
He's
no.
like, I'm going to bed, and an hour later, he's still drunkenly tweeting.
Oh
Well,
no,
this
that's
is
my
also-
brand.
This is the night that that John was about to leave the Westin without saying bye to me. I tapped him. He turned around and said, "Josh, give me a big bear hug." Popped every vertebrae in my entire back.
Yeah.
Then
he
went to
does
touch
that.
me on the face gently and ended up
What?
kind of decking me.
Punched him right in the face.
God!
Yep.
What is wrong
Told me
with
this
you?
story.
I was waiting for this. But yeah, and then I actually but it wasn't super hard, but it was hard enough to confuse me for a moment. And Alex O'Neill of Irrational Passions had to hold me up for 2 seconds.
Alex O'Neill, who is wonderful.
He was fucking hammered at the West End,
Oh,
but
man.
holy
No,
shit.
he was.
Oh, he wasn't the only one.
He was Well, no, dude. I was
No,
not
no.
anywhere near as hammered as like Alex was fucking done.
No,
Like,
no, he was.
Alex was on another level.
You
Oh
guys
my
didn't.
God.
You didn't see that night as well. He
I miss
he ended
Alex
his,
so much.
He was awesome.
All right. So anyway, this is a video game. This is. I promise you guys, this is a video game podcast. I swear.
Not a podcast about John getting drunk.
And speaking of video games, I would like to start with Rebecca, our wonderful, lovely Rebecca, to please talk about what you saw and played at GDC.
Yeah, so GDC was super cool. I am bummed that I didn't get to go to PAX East with you guys, but GDC was its own full experience. Oh my God.
Hey, we're happy she got to go to GDC.
I know.
I am too. It was kind of a
I'm-
transformative experience in a lot of ways, and
But also boo.
I mean, it's always a little bit of a bummer, right, that I don't get to play as many games when I go to things, and then when I do play games, I don't get to talk about them anywhere. So I'm really happy I'm here because I get to talk about the things that I played, which is not very many things, but it was a few things. I did get to go to I got to play one indie game on the show floor. It was called Unpacking. It is this little, I'm pretty sure it's on Steam, or going to be on Steam. It's not out yet. But it is this little indie game, and all it is about unpacking boxes and organizing your kitchen and your bedroom as you're unpacking. And it sounds like
It sounds
It sounds-
stressful.
I think I know what you're talking about.
it's so relaxing. You need to look at the gifts for this game, and it explains everything. Like, if you just look at the gifts of everything going into its little place, then it's just like, it's so soothing and beautiful. Like, everything just fits in neat spaces, and it's like a puzzle game because some things don't fit in places. Like, there was me and this other guy were trying to figure out this bedroom level, like for a little kid, and they had a diary, and we were trying to figure out where to put the diary because the diary kept like flashing at the end, like this isn't in the right spot. He waved back, Finn.
Okay.
Who's Finn waving at?
The
Rowan.
mysterious stranger walking behind Red.
That was just Rowan.
Oh, okay. I was like, what the? I missed that. I was like, what the fuck? Anyway, Rebecca, please continue.
Rowan DM'd me a minute ago telling me he was going to come down very quietly because I made weird vodka the other day, and he wanted to borrow some of my take some of my weird vodka and try it in a mixed drink he's going to make. I don't fucking know.
It's a good
he can have
thing.
the weird vodka. I don't care.
It's a good thing I didn't say that, Rebecca, because I would have immediately gone to, holy fuck, there's just intruder
No,
in
it's
Rebecca's
just
home.
Rowan. I'm aware of
Okay.
Rowan. He's here a lot.
Please,
He plays with my cats. Anyway, but like, we're trying to figure out what to do with the diary. We were so frustrated trying to figure out what to do with it. We found out it's a diary. It's a private thing, so it goes in the drawer. You don't leave it out where anyone could read it. And so there's like puzzle game element, but then there's also just this like soothing, relaxing thing of having everything put away and seeing this nice, neatly organized room. It's very difficult to explain why this is enjoyable, but it's very pretty. The visuals are very nice, and I don't know, it's just worth checking out. It's a little indie game, Unpacking. I don't know when it's out, sometime this year, but it's super cute. Go ahead. No, go ahead. I was just going to go on to the next one, but you tell me.
I was just saying there's just something that's always so difficult to explain those types of games that aren't like gamey games that are because there's so many indie games like that are like calming and nice. It's like trying to explain someone Flower or Journey.
Yeah. Like,
So I
you're
get what you're
floating
saying.
around as like a flower.
I remember when I bought Flower, like right when it came out, and like told my college roommate I bought a game about just like floating around as flower petals, and he's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? And then like I left the room that night for dinner. I come back and he had started playing it, and he was like hooked on it. It was great.
Yeah. So another game I played, and this actually goes with a really cool story that I think I've told the SDGC folks, but I didn't say anything about it on Twitter because it sounds like a little bit pompous, but really it was like it just blew my brain. So I went to an Xbox event for press, and I'm playing all these indie games, which is really cool. And one of them I played was The Sojourn. If you played Rime, the visual style is really similar.
I've heard of it. I've seen it. I've seen it in action. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty. It's very it's a first person exploration game, puzzle game, I guess. And like I didn't get a good grasp on what the themes were, what was really going on, but it seems to be kind of like metaphorically following someone through their life. Like there was a lot of birth and young child imagery as I was going through, and so I assume it would continue like into adulthood the more I played. But it's this puzzle game, and it's so hard to explain. Like it seems to be taking place in this ancient ruin, and in each section you're trying to get to the other side and through this gate on the other end, but there are like gaps you can't cross. And so you have this ability where you can like shift into a dark realm temporarily, and your little shift into the dark realm only lasts for a certain period of time before you run out of energy and you have to go recharge it. On these little platforms. And when you're in the dark realm, sometimes there are platforms that are visible that are not normally visible when you're in this realm of light. And also when you're in the dark realm, you get these abilities, like there are these statues scattered around and you can swap places with them. So there are a lot of puzzles involving like trying to get these statue things onto certain switches, or moving in a specific way to get across these gaps. It's another one that's difficult to explain.
I have a question, Rebecca. I have a question.
Yeah.
Is this SDGC the game? Because I feel like every Thursday night at 9 we kind of slip into the dark realm for an hour and a half. Is this in any way similar to the podcast, do you think?
It might be a little bit similar to the podcast.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure.
The game wasn't quite as pretty as this podcast is.
Nice answer. That's fucking good.
You're welcome.
That's fucking good.
But my real story about The Sojourn, which is a neat looking game, it didn't like blow my mind or anything, but you know, it looks nice. Is that I'm sitting there and I feel this presence behind me. Like the air kind of changed, and I'm like, someone's standing behind me watching me play. And I sat there and I figured, because there's a bunch of people in the room walking around watching people, I figured, you know, someone just walked behind me, but after a while they didn't move. And so I just wanted to check and make sure it wasn't like a developer who wanted something. And so I took off my headphones and I slowly turned around. Fucking Phil Spencer is standing behind me watching me play The Sojourn.
I remember you mentioning this.
Just watching me. And I turned around and I said, "Hi, I'm Reb Valentine. I write for GamesIndustry.biz." And he shook my hand. He said, "Hi, I'm Phil Spencer. I work for Xbox." And I'm like, I know.
No shit. No, what you should have said, Reb, was no fucking shit, Phil. I understand. I get it.
The cool thing was he said that he read our newsletter every day, which I'm like,
oh, that's awesome.
Fucking shit. I should like.
He's a nice fucking guy.
He's so nice. Really he was also wearing he was wearing an ID at Xbox t-shirt and a blazer, which is just like classic Phil Spencer. It is. It's such his brand. But it was cool. Like it was cool to meet Phil Spencer just randomly, and he like I turned around and got back to playing, and he just watched me for a bit, and then he moved on to watch some other people play. It was a really cool moment.
He's a really good guy.
Yeah. So I did play Control, but I know someone else here played Control.
That's my boy.
I played Control at PAX East.
So I figured we could like talk about Control together. So the other game I played that I don't think anyone else played is NeoCab. Did anyone else play NeoCab?
No, but I played a similar game to NeoCab.
I have played NeoCab before.
It was cool. This one I think is the easiest to explain the appeal of. I played this at a Nintendo event. You play as a driver of a NeoCab, Uber, basically in the future. However, this is a future where mostly cars are AI driven, or like robot driven or whatever, and you are one of the few human drivers of the NeoCab company. And you have to, it's like a combination of a resource management game and kind of a branching path narrative visual novel-y type game. So you're balancing like how much power, because it's an electric car, how much power do you have in your car? How much money do you have? Will you be able to refuel your car when you need to? How you want to keep your customers happy, of course, like you want to get 5-star ratings. So you have to kind of like like one of the missions that I did was I went to go pick someone up and they called me ahead of time and they wanted me to park somewhere to pick them up that was a little bit closer than where they were. And I could have done that, but it was illegal to park there. And so I chose to pick them up and get the 5-star rating from them, but I also got the cops pulling me over later and they fined me, so I lost money for that. So there's like that kind of decision making. And then also you have this mood bracelet that changes color based on your mood, and it kind of stays mellow, but if the customer starts saying things that, you know, they might make you really happy or they might make you really angry, and depending on that you get different dialogue options opened up, or sometimes like if you're in a certain mood you just kind of automatically respond a certain way. So it's about balancing, you know, you want to keep them happy, but you also, like, sometimes they're just jackasses and you have to kind of like keep them happy while also not sitting there, because if you simmer in your anger for too long, eventually you'll just lash out. So it's like balancing your...
This is too real.
Yeah.
This is too
but
real.
You get all these dialogue choices while they're in the car with you, and it was really cool. Like, the art style is neat and the premise was neat, and it's going to be on Switch. So I'm like super excited about NeoCab.
Yeah, it was my favorite game at the Mix at E3 last year, and I had a blast. I think I have a sticker for it on my computer and like a pin for on my backpack, because that's how I show love for the games at events. But no, I had a blast playing that, so it's really cool seeing, because I don't think I knew it was coming to the Switch. I think they were still being coy about that back when I last read about it.
I want to take, Rebecca, if you don't mind, I want to take a very quick break, because if I don't do this now, I'm going to forget about it.
No, I'm actually done with games I want to talk about, except for Control, and I'll do that with the other people who played it. So, because I'm sure it was the same demo. I'm sure it was.
Yeah, I was the only one that played it at PAX, so it'll just be you and me on that one.
Okay, I did also get...
Oh, wait, that's right. You played it at E3, right?
Right.
No, I played it at PAX.
You did play it at PAX.
Right.
Okay.
I don't know what you guys got. I got a guided demo as well as a hands-on. So I may have seen more than you guys did. I don't know.
But
go ahead, John. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say, if I don't know, I want to make sure I don't forget this, because I'm glad he's in chat. But I wanted to give a very special shout out to a guy named Morgan, who I was not aware of until last week when we were at PAX. Now, Morgan is right here in chat, and I'm going to show him. I'm going to throw his Twitter handle.
Morgan. Hi, Morgan.
I'm going to throw his Twitter handle out in chat, and I highly recommend everybody follows him, because he's a really nice guy. But Morgan went through a tough spot a little while back. And I won't, like, he tweeted a little bit about it. I won't get into it too much because it's his personal business. But what I did want to say is that Morgan said some very, very kind things about SDGC last week that really touched me. Morgan really kind of touched my heart and motivated me to try to be even better. I greatly admire your strength. I'm sorry you went through what you did. And I wish I could change it for you. I wish I could make it better for you. But what I can tell you is that you have a family here at SDGC. You have a home here at SDGC. And anytime you need, I follow you on Twitter. So anytime you need to talk, reach out, whatever. Just don't be afraid to send me a DM. I'll drop what I'm doing and we'll talk. Morgan is a great guy, and there's his @ right here in Twitter. So I highly recommend everybody goes follow him. And Morgan, you're home.
I got to meet Morgan.
Morgan's a cool dude.
I got to meet Morgan last weekend. He's so... Yeah, we were met at the Kind of Funny City.
Oh, that's right. Oh, yeah. You did.
There's a whole photo on the Twitter sphere of us.
Yeah, that's all.
Morgan is the nicest human being. He let me sit with him, and he's cool. And I was just going to go drink alone at the bar, and he made sure that didn't happen. And it was so lovely, and he was such good company.
Look at you, Morgan taking care of our girl Reb. We appreciate that. We appreciate that. Morgan's a fucking stand-up guy. Man. Morgan's a fucking stand-up guy. I wish I could have been at the Kind of Funny meet and greet.
In Kansas City, you would have come to Kansas City for that.
I would have done that. Hell yeah.
I've never been.
So
come to Kansas City.
So let's talk about so a lot. And Rebecca, thank you so much for talking about GDC, by the way.
I wanted to be on. I've been wanting to talk about it for a couple weeks now.
Well,
but you guys all had to go to PAX East and be all buddies.
Well, PAX East was like some shit went down at PAX East, and it was all good. It was all good. It was all good at PAX East. And so this was the first time that a bunch of us met in person, right? Like, I'd already met Finn, I'd already met Justin, but most of these guys hadn't met each other yet. And so I was wondering how everybody's like, you know, little personalities were gonna kind of mesh and bounce off each other, but everybody got along really well. The whole weekend went swimmingly, and it was just a great fucking time. We played a lot of games. We scored, what, Finn, 18 interviews?
That is 19.
19.
did not. We lost it for technical reasons, but luckily it was a more friendly one, not one based on a dev. So it's a bummer, but not one that will impact our content.
Well, Finn fucking killed it with her. I almost said Phil. Finn killed it with the fucking interviews. He did the lion's share of our interviews. Of course, Justin reviewed some Gamer Fuel. We dropped. We gave him a hand. Oh,
I apologize. She unplugged my monitor.
Oh, it's fine. Like right when it happened, my audio got really weird. So that was fine.
It was my fault. Please carry on. I'm sorry about her.
I'm always excited to see a kitty. I don't care.
I want to I also want to shout out Josh. Josh got to do a live podcast from the show floor with Derek, and I want to start with Josh. Josh, can you tell us a little bit about what that was and what you did? You had a lot of fucking people watching you.
Yeah, it was fucking crazy. Yeah, so like the only reason I was at PAX East was because someone I'm friendly with from Versus Evil said, "Hey, do you want to do this thing with us?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure. That sounds. I'll do like something." And then I emailed Brandon Stannis, I'm Brandon TV, who doesn't work with Versus Evil anymore. Anyways, I emailed him and I'm like, "So what? Like, you want me to play a game for like 30 minutes?" And his response was, "No, like I was thinking you could do like a live Constantly Calibrating podcast for like, I don't know, like an hour." And I was like, "Oh, okay, I'm gonna be the only one for Constantly Calibrating there, but we could work something out." So ended up being like a 75-minute show, which we did on small to medium content creators and how they're becoming, how they're essentially becoming more important than the larger content creators and influencers when it comes to promoting stuff, when it comes to getting interest in things. And we kind of we explored that a little bit. Did the show. Derek was one of my co-hosts, Christine Martin, the smallest burb, and then Dan Nichols, who was a community manager for Adult Swim Games. And we had like a 75-minute thing. I literally just finished editing that right before John called me.
You had like fucking hundreds of people watching you too on Twitch.
I had no idea because I have not. I know nothing about that. All I know is I was told later that night that, and this is a possibility, that it was the single most popular segment of Versus Evil's live coverage for the weekend, and they want us to do it at PAX West, maybe.
There you go. There you go. You'll have to have me on this time.
Yeah.
I'll have to step in.
Step in.
shout out to a couple of special friends in chat, by the way, Steve Blomkamp and Imran Khan, friends of the podcast. What's up, fellas? What's up, gents? Imran's got a sweet fucking Gamer Fuel safe. I don't know if you guys saw this or not, but he tweeted that shit out, and I don't know.
No.
Justin, I don't like you. You've got a special, like, very, almost I would say intimate relationship with Gamer Fuel now. Like you.
Yeah, you could say that.
It's like, do you feel? I don't know. Like, so you drank 3 cans of Gamer Fuel. You tried 3 cans.
Didn't. I tried 3 cans.
You chugged one.
I did not.
You drank a whole one though. You drank a whole one though.
I did drink a whole one.
So,
but I drank a whole one that was just like a regular Mountain Dew, basically.
But do you feel like more of a gamer now? Do you feel like the Gamer Fuel like caused you to get good? Do you feel like it raised your gamer quotient at all? Like, do you feel...
it helped me sprint to the lift that drove by me that night and to make it to the offsite event that I was going to.
I also I want to point out that Justin drank that Gamer Fuel and then we ran into his fucking doppelganger.
I ran into him on Sunday.
No one has explained this to me. They just posted a photo in our DM of Justin, and I'm like, what the fuck?
Okay, so
no one has explained this.
Like, and Kyle Gatto literally tweeted, he was like, "This is the same person." Like, they were still sitting on the floor. So hold on, Justin. Hold on. I gotta set this up. Let me knead the dough, and then you can throw it in the oven. Okay, so I was walking away. Just go with the analogy, Justin. It's fine.
Okay.
So I was walking away from Justin, and I went to the AFK room to grab something. I was coming out, and I saw Justin sitting on the floor talking to a bunch of people, and I was like, I was like, "Did you teleport? How the fuck did you get over here?" And I literally walked up and said, "Justin, what the?" And I realized that's not Justin. It's his fucking doppelganger. And he looked at me. He's like, "Who's Justin?" And I was like, "Are you not Justin?" And I was so stunned. I was like yelling. I was like, "Hold on, you need to stand up and come with me." So I literally, This guy, like, he was like, okay. I was like, I need to show you something. So I'm walking with Justin, right? Like, I'm just gonna call him Justin because I can't remember his name. I'm walking with Justin. I'm walking with, like, you know what? We're gonna call him Upside Down Justin. Okay. I was walking with Upside Down Justin, and all of a sudden, real Justin is walking down the hallway, and he stops, and there's like this 5 seconds of like incomprehension on each of their faces. Like Justin, like your face, dude, was like, what? Like, I've never seen that look on your face before. It was the look of a man who knows that all of a sudden he's not the only one.
It was weird. Yeah, like I initially didn't think we looked that close alike. I mean, like, I knew we looked a lot alike, but then every time I look at the picture, I default to looking at him, assuming that it's me, and then I'm like, shit, we probably do look pretty similar.
It's fucking, it's so good. It's so fucking good. But I wanted it, like,
I sent that picture to my mom, and she was very upset.
Can I pause you guys for a second?
Please.
Nintendo just fucking announced that the Labo VR kit.
Oh, no, never.
You know the Labo VR kit?
Yes.
They're putting a Mario Odyssey 3 separate levels on it, and they're putting a Breath of the Wild experience on it. Like, not the full game.
Well,
apparently the Breath of the Wild thing is 30 FPS from what I'm hearing, which
like
that doesn't work.
I know we're not doing news tonight. I know we're talking about PAX.
No, this is breaking news. This is important. This is good shit.
They're putting fucking Breath of the Wild and Mario Odyssey in VR. Like, what the fuck?
I can't wait to play Mario Odyssey looking through a bird's ass.
What the hell? Wait, I'm watching the trailer right now. How much of Breath of the Wild are they putting on there? Oh my god.
Is it like an on-rails thing? Like, what the hell is it? Like,
so the Mario Odyssey thing is like 3 levels, and it's like collecting coins and music notes, so it's not that big. But they don't seem. Yeah, Imran is saying Breath of the Wild seems to be the entire game. There isn't anything.
There is
just
absolutely no fucking way.
There's no fucking way
I'm playing that like that.
Okay,
I'll fucking do it. Are you shitting me?
No.
I'll try, but I don't think it'll be a good experience.
No.
The Mario thing could be cool though. The Mario thing could be cool if it's actually made for it. But if it's just
Breath of the Wild in VR.
that sounds.
Imran in chat also points out that Labo VR only works by tracking the Joy-Cons attached to the visor. So you have to always have your hands up on the visor.
Absolutely
it doesn't
not.
strap to your head.
Absolutely fucking not.
I forgot about that.
No.
Nintendo.
No.
Nintendo.
This is what Rebecca. This is why they're shitting. This is why they're just unceremoniously shitting out Labo VR in the middle of April without much fanfare.
No.
That's exactly why they're doing this.
Okay, I'm sorry for derailing everything like that. I just thought
No, Rebecca,
we needed to know about this. That was too high and
it's funny. It's funny because if Nintendo was actually trying to get into VR, I'd be really excited. But doing it with the Labo kits is not how I would like them to go about that.
So I want to I want to real quick before we get to Control with Reb and Justin, I want to tag team something with Finn. My personal I was really waffling back and forth between what my game of the show was. I didn't get to play as many games as you guys did because because I was running the Hope booth, which was great. But I was on panels, which was great. But I didn't have a whole lot of time to play as many games as the others did. But Finn and I were able to tag team a little game called Cyber Shadow.
Yeah.
And Cyber Shadow is easily Steve in chat. Jesus Christ, Blomkamp. But I'm totally fucking derailed now. Steve, coming in here with that bullshit.
Because he's talking about how spicy Finn is?
Coming in here with that lewd bullshit. Finn is spicy though.
Sorry, Finn.
It's a new game published by Yacht Club.
So important distinction here, Finn. Published is correct, not developed.
They've never published anything before. I mean,
I made that same mistake. Turns out they have. Yes, they published Inti Creates' Azure Striker Physical Edition.
Did they really?
But they did. This is going to be their first published game that wasn't a game that already released somewhere else.
And I want to point out,
I said the same thing you did during the interview, and he was like, "Actually," and I'm like, "I knew that. I was testing you, sir."
Developed by one.
That flew under the radar. I mean, who knew about that?
Developed by one guy. by the way.
Yes.
One guy's making this game.
One guy.
It is. So like, I was worried, and I'll kick it over to Finn after this. I was worried that this was just going to be like coming way too closely on the heels of The Messenger. But playing this game, I get the sense that it's trying to do its own thing.
Very much so.
It's set much so like Finn, like I got the impression that it was set up progression wise because The Messenger is like a Metroidvania in the second half of the game, right?
Right.
But I got the impression that this was a much more linear experience with branching paths, like akin to like Dracula 3 or Castlevania 3.
Well, they said that old school NES Castlevania games were a big influence, along with Mega Man 2 and 3. So, I mean, good things and Ninja Gaiden, of course. Good. I just want to say before we jump into it that there was a really fun moment. So I'm setting up for the interview, and he goes, "Do you want to play the game first?" And I go, "Sure." And then I stop and I go, "John, I know you're really excited. Do you want to play this?" And he goes, No, you go. You're doing the interview. And then 3 seconds later, he goes, "No, fuck it. No, I want to play." And he jumped on. I'm like, good.
I'm a sucker for platformers. I'm a sucker for retro platformers, and I'm a sucker for Ninja Gaiden. So, like, when you combine the three, and this game is fucking gorgeous. Like it's got just a wonderful. And Julian in chat says Castlevania. You say yes. It's very similar progression-wise to Castlevania 3, where it's linear, but you've got multiple paths that branch. You can pick and choose. The story, I got the impression, Finn, that it's not anywhere near as lighthearted as like The Messenger. That seems to have a much darker tone.
Yeah, The Messenger was like a surprisingly funny, like lighthearted game.
Yeah, I didn't really I love The Messenger. I didn't care for some of the jokes that were in there.
I mean, that's fair.
But yeah, but overall, I really liked it. But like, this seems like it's trying to carve out its own identity, and I was worried that it was going to feel too similar to The Messenger. But from a gameplay perspective, that couldn't be farther from the truth, right, Finn?
Corrected. Indeed, we both got to play a different level.
We did.
2 separate levels ready.
I played it. I played a level very early in the game, and it looked like you played something that was much later. You were kind of in the middle of the game, I think.
Yeah, where you would unlock some new abilities, and it looks like you do get new abilities like that are tied to a Castlevania style stamina system, where you can, instead of breaking open candles for hearts, you're breaking open these like sci-fi canisters for energy. But you have sub weapons and sub abilities.
I mean, it's Ninja Gaiden.
Yeah,
it's Ninja Gaiden, but there's just something there's something so appealing about it, and again, like I love the artwork and the aesthetic of it. It seems very challenging, which I like. I like really challenging platformers. And I think it's dropping like this year, right, Finn?
That's what they were saying they were aiming for. I get it mixed up with Katana Zero.
I was gonna say because
another game that's coming out in like
May. By the way,
Katana,
it was a toss up between Katana Zero and Cyber Shadow for my game of the show. Because damn,
I think Josh, you wanted to say
Katana Zero was great. That was a blast. They actually had to kick me off of the machine because apparently I was playing for too long. But I was just zoned in completely on it.
That game is fucking good.
I want to get back to the Katana Zero later because I have word for it.
I actually want to kick it over to Rebecca and Justin to talk about Control. There's so many games to talk about. I want to keep it moving. So Control is something that unfortunately I didn't get to play. And I know Zach got to Zach. Well, hold on, did Zach play it? Justin?
I don't think he did.
You played it during Media Hour, right? Like you were down there playing it during Media Hour.
So I tried to play it during Media Hour.
I remember this. Okay.
We got in for the Media Hour, and first I made a beeline basically for the PlayStation booth where a lot of the bigger stuff that I wanted to check out was. And I played one round of Mortal Kombat 11, which I'm not really equipped to evaluate. I'm really bad at fighting games, but the graphics looked really good. Anyway, so then I got in line for Control. I was like the 5th person in line, but there was only 4 demo stations set up, and the demo was 30 minutes long. So it was over an hour before I actually got to play it, meaning I basically missed all of Media Hour because I was waiting to play Control. But I did get a pretty sizable amount of time with it. I did get to play for the full half hour, and I probably wouldn't have gotten to it if it hadn't been for getting in line then. So I'm really glad I played it. It was a really, really cool demo.
So what was your demo? Was your demo kind of just the free play thing where they let you explore and throw things around? Okay.
Yeah, so it was...
I got I was at GDC, so I got the fancy thing because I had an interview with them, and I got to watch them do a demo of actual like story gameplay before I did the demo that you guys did, and I'm not like blown away by the gameplay, but the visuals
looks
and
sumptuous.
Sumptuous is a really good word for it. Actually,
Yeah.
It is just incredibly fascinating to look at, both in terms of just how it's not just taken on its own. Like if you just see a screenshot of just the characters standing there, it's not like a particularly pretty game, as the cat again. But they do so many interesting things. I saw the guided demo at E3 as well, and it was different. It was a different section of the game. They do, and it's improved a lot since E3. Not that it was bad at E3, but they do so many interesting things with light and color. There was this section that I watched where she is just like, oh no, wait, that was in the that was in the playable demo. Never mind. But yeah, there's just interesting things with the way light hits things. There's like this long hallway at one point where there's like this guy's face like juxtaposed over you transparently, and he's like saying things, and it's real creepy.
It's like a projection, right? He's basically like a projection on the wall as you move down that hallway. Yeah, I saw.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it was in both. Like it was in some of the same areas, but I got to watch like a lot of the combat and get like little bits of the story as well. It's just fascinating to look at, and also they're just really good at like mind fucking with you. Like they give you a lot of like weird ass things to think about. Like the one that actually sticks out at me is one from the E3 demo where it's the guy who's just like staring. What is it, like a refrigerator or something? Finn, is that what it was? And he's just like his job is to stare at the refrigerator because it's one of those like objects of power or whatever. And if he doesn't stare at the fucking refrigerator, it's gonna just go berserk and kill everybody. And it's just like, God, it's just so weird. It's just weird, and it makes you think about shit. And like, I love it.
I have a question. For both of you. It's really akin to a Metroidvania, isn't it? Like it's not like a linear experience.
That's what they keep saying. Yeah.
They specifically keep saying that. And also just for those that aren't familiar with just like the general concept of it, because it's strange. So it basically takes place in a government building called the Federal Bureau of Control. And so you have areas that just look like normal ass business offices and stuff, but then there's always something strange going on. Like basically other dimensions are crossing over into the
there's this thing called the hiss, right? Like the hiss. The hiss is this weird like other dimensional villain kind of thing that comes in and just fucks everybody up.
Yeah, you play as Jessie, who's like the head of the department, and she picks up
a magic gun or whatever.
Yeah, she has telekinesis. She has telekinesis and like a transforming gun. It's really fucking cool.
It sounds like the X-Files. Cool. It sounds like the X-Files.
It's honestly what it felt like to me was like an infamous Metroidvania in the world of Fringe. That's what it felt like to me.
Interesting. Now, Fringe that's a TV show I haven't heard in a long time.
Hey, Finn.
Finn,
what do you want? I just want to say, gameplay-wise, the easiest way to describe it, because it doesn't play too similarly to games like Quantum Break or Alan Wake. It's, if anyone remembers the PS2 game PsyOps, the Mindgate Conspiracy. It's like a next-gen PsyOps game merged with a Castlevania exploration, and that it's so good.
I thought it played a lot like better Mass Effect, honestly. Like you have a gun, and then you have, what the hell was it in Mass Effect where you can like move shit around?
Biotics.
Yeah, like basically biotics or telekinesis. I don't love
Lego Bionicle.
I don't think it's particularly innovative. Like there's I guess I don't know if there's like a skill tree or whatever. You can like attach shit to your weapon. You can customize a little bit. It doesn't blow my mind. It's been done before. It's whatever. But like that's not the point. I don't really think that's the point in any of Remedy's games. Literally, like, the point is just this weird world and stuff.
I was just thinking about something that Imran. I was literally just thinking about this exact thing that Imran said in chat. Like I'm disappointed they didn't continue the rhyming convention because you had Alan Wake and then you had Quantum Break. Like I feel like with the hiss they should have called it like Control a Snake. Or something like that.
This isn't a Metal Gear game, John.
Bake a cake. Control you will take. Come
Come on.
I don't know. I'm with Control Quake. I'm really.
So
that to me is a tragedy.
Here's the weird story about this. Games industry ran an article before when, because what was it called, like P5 or whatever it was?
Yeah, it was like PO5 or something like that.
Whatever the fuck it was. Before we knew it was called Control, we ran an interview with Remedy, and it was titled like how Remedy is taking back control of its destiny. And I fucking love that headline because we had no idea. We had absolutely no idea. And every time I search for Control in our like database or whatever, that article comes up, and I'm like, yes, we knew somehow. We didn't actually know.
So yeah, like in my time with it, I was mostly playing around with the combat, and it was really, really cool. Like I said before, the flow really reminded me of Infamous, where you like have, you know, basically kind of powers that are substitutes for typical guns. Like, I mean, she has a gun, but like, it doesn't work typical. Like, there was 2 modes in the demo. There was like a rapid fire mode and a charge fire mode, and both modes are on cooldowns, so like there's no like taking cover and reloading or anything. It just basically hits a point where it like overheats or something, and you have to let it go. So then you have to kind of like switch to your powers, and she has a dash, she can levitate, and you know, she can pick up and throw stuff with telekinesis, and the level of destruction in the environments is so cool. Because usually when like there's like physics objects and things that you can interact with, it has to be like broken already by something else, or it has to be like, oh, you can only pick up like the trash cans or something. But in Control, you could just like look at a piece of the ground and hit the button that pulls something to you and just rip a chunk of the floor off and then throw it. When enemies were low on health, you could possess them, and then they would start fighting with each other. And like, there was one point where I got like this one big guy with a Gatling gun, and I basically just set the AI to have like this whole blown out war with each other, and there's like papers flying everywhere. The like the pillars in the pillars in the area I was in were like breaking apart, like the lobby scene from The Matrix. Like,
that's really cool.
There was one point where I hit a guy and like I exploded a grenade that was on his belt, and like this like weird like rainbow mist was everywhere. It was really cool, like tons of effects everywhere. You can smash everything, and it's really cool. And this was all in an area that looks like, you know, a normal office building, but you know, there's guys just like hovering everywhere and like teleporting in from other dimensions.
It's kind of funny how differently we played it, because like I did the combat once and I was like, whatever, I suck at this, and I kept going and I wasn't that impressed by it. But it sounds like you had a really good time with it. I like spent my demo time exploring like everything I could. I actually had this weird moment, and I think it wasn't intended that way, but I walked into the bathroom. Like, there's a bathroom in the demo, and I just walked in there, and the music suddenly went, whoa! And I'm like, what the fuck is happening? And they laughed like it wasn't supposed to do that, but because you know, it's like a demo. It's not the final game. But I went into like this kind of underground area where everything was like glowing and lit up, and it was super mysterious.
Oh yeah.
And then there was like that maze that looked like a New York old school hotel where the walls kept shifting. That was so fucking cool. I love that so much.
Basically how the demo was set up is there was like the central area, and then they had some of the side areas that you could just kind of go into like the first room of or something.
They had specifically set up like a sandbox for people to play, and it wasn't like a slice of the game.
So like if you go into the basement area, it's like covered in fungus and glowing, and there's like fungus zombies everywhere out of nowhere. So cool. And then like, yeah, there was that mirror maze.
Of Us?
No, John.
Then there was like that mirror maze area that Reb mentioned, and like there's like weird narration. It looks a lot like the Red Room from Twin Peaks, and it's like constantly transforming. And like after you go through it a few times, you find a chest at the end. It's really, really cool.
There was like the sound. Did you find the sound room? Like
no, I was looking for it when I ran out of time.
There's like the weird audio room that's like playing like weird music and stuff. I stopped there because I started talking to the developer, but it was so weird. Finn,
what's up?
Yeah.
No, sorry. I just wanted to ask Josh what one of his favorite games on the show was.
Well, hold on real quick. Hold on. I want to make sure we're wrapping up the Control talk real quick. I don't want to get into that. So, do you guys have anything else you want to say about Control?
I just love I'm excited for it. I haven't played a ton of like big name, everybody's excited for it games in a while. I've mostly been sticking to kind of indies and cute things, but this one, especially because of the fact that, like, from the looks of it, it seems like I can avoid combat. Like combat's fine, but it seems like I can avoid it if I want to for the most part. I mean, yeah, there's like boss battles and stuff. Like I did watch a boss battle during the demo, which was really cool. But you know, I don't know. Like I really want to explore this game. I want to see this freaking oldest house and see what it looks like. It's very intriguing. I think I've never played a Remedy game before, but I think they've done a good job so far from what I've seen.
Having never played a Remedy game, all I know is everything I've seen of Control makes me very badly want to play it. From the E3 demo and just moving forward, I haven't gone hands on, but everything that I've seen it's the first time one of their games has truly just like appealed to me in just that way. And I'm just like, okay, I could go for this.
Well, speaking of games,
for me there was go. Were you transitioning to something else?
I was going to transition, but if you got one quick point,
I just go on one wrap up thing. Like I think it speaks volumes to like the design of the game that I was in the middle of the PAX floor while it was opening. So like the doors had just opened and everybody was pouring in around me. I'm just in the middle of the PAX floor with, you know, headphones on playing it. And I was totally immersed in it for just that half an hour. Like, and I really think that if like it could have that much atmosphere in like the worst possible conditions to be immersed in a game, like the whole thing is going to be a really cool experience.
Oh, sorry, my mic was off for a minute. That sounds great, man. I want to kick it over to Josh, and thank you to Justin and Rebecca for giving us that good that good control talk. That's actually something I'm really looking forward to. I'm glad it's multi-platform too. Josh, why don't you drop a game on us that you really liked at PAX, man? What's something hot? Make it spicy. Make it zesty.
Zesty. I'm literally looking through my I'm looking through my stuff here. I was looking through my notes. I'm looking through everything here. I'm trying to figure out what's a good zesty one. And there's like 2 or 3 games I did really like on the show floor, but the one that's been sticking in my brain that one of the 2 games I kept going back just to watch other people play after I had my time with it was Creature in the Well from Flight School Studio.
Yes.
It's a game that I straight up told them I thought the trailer was not impressive. I did not like the trailer. The pinball mechanics didn't look good to me in there. It just didn't make sense. But the moment I actually went hands-on with it, it made sense.
Yes.
Art style is good, but like there's no straight combat. You are just reflecting energy around essentially with pinball mechanics and stuff like that. You can bypass some challenges, which I did by accident because I didn't understand exactly what I was doing initially, but just like the ability to just redirect your shots and then take energy in and do charge shots and all these different things in this really stylish, beautiful world, I couldn't stop coming back and watching it. Like watching others play, there's just something really breathtaking about it.
You know, I asked them what the name of the robot is, and they were like, "Oh, we actually haven't announced that yet. It's got some numbers in it." it's such a simple game. Like it's one trigger button swings and knocks balls around, and one maintains them with you and charges their power. And it's one part pinball, one part like breakout game. Oh, so good.
I tried it too. It's so simple but so hard to master.
Real quick, I want to give somebody a shout out because I've never seen him. This is the first time I've ever seen him in here. Adam Bankhurst from IGN, cool dude.
Oh, yeah,
cool dude. We met at PAX. Adam's an awesome dude. We're gonna get him on the podcast actually. Adam, we've already talked about that. Adam, get your ass on here. But shout out to Adam, dude. We're glad you're here. Fucking awesome. Fucking outstanding. Little
dumpster fire.
I'm not gonna say no to a little IGN in the chat, dude. I'm not gonna turn that down. That's fine.
Yeah, you know,
I'm cool with that.
It's our job to give smaller outlets a chance to grow.
Exactly, right? Like, I mean, I understand. You know, IGN's a young up and comer in the industry. You know, at us being a salty old organization like SDGC that everybody knows about, everybody cares about, everybody's followed for years. Like, we're just trying to give people, I don't know, we're just trying to give people a boost. So, you know, if we can do that for IGN, then I consider this a podcast seized, to be perfectly honest with you. It's all been worth it to me anyway. I don't know how you guys feel about it. That's just how I feel about it. Yeah, exactly. So Imran Khan, you know, young up and coming journalist, at Game Informer. I don't know too much about Game Informer, but I'd love to have Imran on and, you know, kind of give him a boost, you know, stuff like that. Like, I love giving back to the community
that gave so much to us.
Just a venerable old podcast like Official SDGC that's been around since, I mean, really the beginning of the industry. So this is really special. It makes me feel good. All
right, I got places to be. I'll see you later.
Founder, John.
This is. I actually wanted to.
Wait, did Josh finish Creature?
Oh, Josh, you still going, dude? Yeah, I totally fucking blew Josh. Please, Josh.
No,
you know what?
You so much.
Please, Josh.
Everyone made a comment about Creature in the Well over here about its art being inspired by Hellboy's comics, and once you hear that, it becomes so obvious. The moment I just read that, I was like, I don't know if you could see my eyes getting really wide there for a second. It wasn't because of John's bullshitting. It was that.
How fucking dare you, sir? That's not bullshitting.
Hey, leave our heartless alone, John.
I fucking poured my heart and soul out on this podcast just now, and you call it... Get out. You know
Josh did nothing wrong.
Josh, do you have any other fucking video game opinions you want to tell us about right now from PAX?
Fucking video game opinions.
Not any good ones.
So Josh, here's the deal. No, hold on.
No bad video game opinions, John. Not tonight.
No. We do need, not a bad video game opinion, but an opinion on a bad video game. And to everybody in chat, so there's been, by the way, there's been a lot of questions about the beanie. I'm looking for another brand. I'm getting rid of this fucking thing. Because no, Rebecca, Josh, and Justin, and Finn will tell you too many people at PAX had this beanie.
Yes.
No. I didn't even tell you the story. No, my favorite thing, John, is this has legitimately happened. So I was walking around with a friend of mine. She was doing this like grassroots marketing thing. This random guy joins up with us, wearing the beanie, has the same beard as you, and the same height, literally the same body build. And I just saw him from the side, and I just stood there, and I'd look at Justin, and I'm just like, I thought John flew home like bright and early. What? And I just tapped the guy, and it's clearly not you. As soon as he actually goes head on me, and it was horrifying.
Too many fucking people have this thing out.
I said this is wrong. This is unacceptable.
Too many fucking.
You can't get rid of the beanie.
But Rebecca, wait till I tell you what I'm replacing it with.
I don't care.
What if I told you it was a Moogle hat?
I don't care.
It's a Moogle hat with Moogle ears and like the pom pom on top.
Oh, you will never wear that.
You fucking ain't right. I would wear that. I love Final Fantasy.
I know you do.
Like
I just don't see you wearing it.
Here we go. We managed to get, 55 minutes in. We got to Final Fantasy.
By the way, Final Fantasy 6, 25th anniversary of Final Fantasy 6 the other day. Let's fucking give the greatest game of all time the respect it deserves. Due respect.
Now rent a van to fit all of its amazing characters in.
Rebecca's gone now, but it's fine. It's fine. She'll come back. She can't stay away. Rebecca can't stay away. There is something there is a game that I witnessed at PAX that I wanted to mention because it was actually crushing disappointment. And this is gonna upset some people in chat, probably Julian especially. But
I know what you're gonna say, and I'm gonna
don't hold on. What's happening here, Rebecca? What is this?
She got her own hat.
Rebecca, so why have you not worn that before now, Rebecca? Why are we just now seeing this?
I'm not a beanie kind of person.
I like it though. It's good.
I mean,
it works.
Cute.
It fits
it's
you.
It's not winter.
It suits
I usually
you.
wear these like in the winter. I've got this. I've got a Pusheen beanie, and I have that control beanie they gave me for play control.
You actually walked away, and I was like, Rebecca can't stay away from us. She's coming back.
Oh, absolutely not. I was just getting the beanie.
She's coming back. But Rebecca, I'm going to tell you about a game that I saw at PAX that I was very disappointed in.
Oh, no.
And that game is Bloodstained.
Yeah. Okay. Tell me about that.
So I didn't get the chance to...
I probably agree with you.
So I did not get the chance to play it, but I saw a lot of it. It is fugly as shit. The art style sucks. It doesn't run well. It doesn't play well. This is, you know what it reminded me of? It reminded me of.
Mighty Number 9?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Yes.
Finn, podcast dad is talking. You'll get your turn. Justin, put your hand down. Hold on.
Oh my god.
Hold on, everybody. Just hold on. Let me finish my point. It is not what I expect from an Igavania. for lack of a better term, and I think this is going to be Iga's. I think it's going to be his Mighty Number 9. It does not look like it looks low budget. It looks the polygonal style of the game does not suit it well. It's like this. It almost looks like a weird mix of polygons and cell shaded, and it just was highly. I was so disappointed to see it in action that I can't really get over it. I love Symphony of the Night is one of my favorite games of all time, and this was just a massive letdown to see it. I'm glad I didn't kickstart it because I'd be really pissed off and disappointed right now. So Finn was raising his hand and Justin was raising his hand.
Justin, did you play it?
I didn't play it, but I backed it, and I got the email that showed off what the updated artwork looks like. That was not in the demo, and it looks way, way better. It sounds like the Switch version, which was the one that was on the floor.
That was the one that was on the
PAX,
floor.
was real rough.
Okay.
It was super rough.
But I have seen updated artwork from the game that looks way, way better.
I mean, artwork is fine. I'm talking about the actual visual style of the game.
So, unlike John, I actually did play the game. So I will.
I mean, I was right there. I fucking saw it, dude. It looks ugly as shit. Tell me that game doesn't look ugly as shit.
I did not think so, but that's just a visual thing. You also said it played bad, and I'm going to stop you on that one.
I have talked to multiple people who have played it, Finn.
That's fine. It is in no way a Mighty Number 9 situation. I actually really enjoyed my time with it because I was pleasantly surprised to see they also mixed some Dawn of Sorrow / Aria of Sorrow in it, where when you kill enough enemies, you'll get their soul, which unlocks additional powers and buffs and upgrades. And that's
the only buff we need is right here, baby. That's it. It's the only buff we need.
I agree. We were happy.
I mean, I want to backpedal a little bit. I know I'm the one who said Mighty Number 9. I don't think it, and I didn't play the GDC. I played it both at E3 last year and at PAX West last year. Or I think that's right. Yeah, I played it twice now since it was first announced. I certainly don't think it's Mighty Number 9 level. Like the pizza graphics in Mighty Number 9 were just a little much. I'm just not like blown away by it.
No, and that's
I think the thing is, like, I've played Symphony of the Night, and when I play Symphony of the Night, I think this was obviously great in its time and was super important, and I see why people find it important now. But it's in the category of games where I'm like, I don't know that we really needed, like, basically a remake of something similar with some additional shit thrown on top. Like, I feel the same way about it that I feel about Yooka-Laylee, and, like, about Mighty Number 9 stands the fact that Mighty Number 9 was kind of bad just on its own.
I mean, we're realizing that spiritual sequels are very tough to live up to. I think of the three, because the big three are Bloodstained, Yooka-Laylee, and Mighty Number 9. Bloodstained is easily the best of the three. Do I think it's going to ever reach the levels of actual Castlevania games? No.
Fair.
I don't. Is it still a fun game that I have no regrets backing? Also, yes, because I was a backer, and that was the first time I played it was at PAX, and I was very happy with what I played.
Inti Creates got booted off the project.
I had no idea
about that.
Imran,
that happened a while ago.
I didn't know that.
I mean, I didn't pay attention because I wasn't interested in the game.
That happened like a year and a half, 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So I actually I wanted to bring that up because all jokes aside, I love Symphony of the Night. It's one of my favorite games of all time. I love Castlevania, and this one just leaving it. Just I don't know, something about it just leaves a bad taste in my mouth. But I wanted to actually move on from the con talk and discuss something that happened. Justin, what's up?
I had a handful of other games I was going to talk about. One I wanted to go in depth, and then a couple others I just wanted to give some quick impressions. Is that okay?
What's the in depth game?
Sayonara Wild Hearts.
Go ahead.
Because that was my personal game of the show. It was over at the Annapurna booth. It's developed by.
I heard so much about all of it. Everyone kept going on about it.
Yeah, it's developed by Simogo Games, and it's incredibly cool. If you haven't heard of it, it's a rhythm action game that's an homage to like magical girl anime stuff.
Oh, like that's the one I
Moon.
saw. I saw Maddie and Zach playing that. Okay, it's like it's like a on rails thing, right?
Kind of sometimes. Yeah. And it's the entire thing is like choreographed to a pop album the developers have made, and it's extremely, extremely cool. Basically the demo, I think it starts at the very start of the game up through like the first boss fight. So you get like a really good progression of how it goes. It's got a great art style. It reminds me of like do you guys remember like the Feel the Magic games on the DS?
No.
No. Okay.
No.
Well, it reminds me of those, art style wise. But you play as this woman that like there's like a butterfly that flies by her bed and she gets powers or something. It's not that clear.
Yeah, that sounds
hold
right.
on,
Yeah.
That sounds fine. That's normal.
And then so like you start off skateboarding, and then you fly a little bit, and then you're riding on a motorcycle. But like at the end, you're like fighting these 3 triplets that are on motorcycles, and they're like standing on motorcycles and fighting, and like you're also driving driving through the streets and stuff. It's really cool because it switches perspectives and play styles a lot, yet it's really easy to intuit how you're supposed to like so you'll be like driving through the streets on a motorcycle where you actually have like free movement between, and like if you hit certain things you get boosts, and then different items are kind of in sync with the music timing.
It kind of reminded me of Thumper, Justin.
Yeah, and then there's times when like you have to like tap to punch the other like your enemies and stuff. It was really, really cool. I was really, really impressed by it. And that was my favorite demo of PAX East, and I awarded it a Saki, and I'm extremely excited for that game.
Would you give it out of 5 gamer fuels? How many would you give it?
Oh no.
He would not subject anything to gamer fuels. Thank you.
Well, it was also funny because I was playing it, and like I was definitely not the typical target audience for this game, and like this older woman that was working the Annapurna booth was kind of like glaring at me when I was first playing it, and then she came over like towards the end when she saw me just having a big smile on my face the whole time while playing, and she's like, "Do you like it? Or do you really like it?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm having a wonderful time." She like didn't believe me.
You hate it, don't you? Just you don't even need to say it. I can tell by the look on your face.
Yeah. But it's coming to mobile and Switch.
Switch, that's right. Yep.
I played it on Switch.
I'll probably pick it up. I mean, it looks cool. Imran in chat.
It was awesome. I loved it.
Imran in chat said it's an experience, not really a particularly skill-based game, which does kind of set it apart from Thumper, because like Thumper is fucking hard. Like you need fucking mad skills to play Thumper. I do want to move on from the con talk and talk about something that happened. Wait, what?
I'm sorry. No, it says keep stopping you, but Finn didn't talk about a game yet.
Oh, Finn has. Okay, go ahead, Finn.
Sorry, John.
I've discussed games others have brought up, but I haven't gotten to talk about a game myself. But do you want to just loop back to con after you?
No. Go ahead. No. Go ahead.
So I just had. I played way too many games, and there's so many like standouts. I don't want to go like super in depth in any of them because that would just take too much time. But instead I'll share some stories, because I mentioned this one to John, but I just think it's a good story for the chat.
He's got stories.
I was interviewing Katana Zero's dev, which is another single dev game, which blows my mind. And
yeah, that's fucking wild.
It was at a time when everyone else was busy. So I had the camera, but no cameraman. So I just turned and asked a very kind person in line, "Would you mind holding the camera while I do this quick interview?"
You're fucking lucky he didn't run off into the crowd with it.
I mean, you mean Derek's lucky. But, so he does. He's like, yes. And as we're set up, he's like, "So by the way, who are you with? Like, who am I helping out here?" And I go, "Oh, we're just a podcast called the SDGC." And he goes, "Oh shit, I follow you guys. You guys are awesome."
Oh, I remember that.
Like,
yeah.
What is this world?
I remember that. We had a few of those happen actually. Like, holy shit, I follow you guys.
And then Thomas from Devolver and the dev from Katana Zero were so happy about their sake. They pinned it on their giant Devolver booth. It was just a sake hanging on their wall. It made me very happy. But you're welcome. Thank you, Saki. There was
You're so cool.
The other games that I would put, like my top 5, I would just say Cyber Shadow, like John said, Katana Zero, Star Renegades was phenomenal. I can't even get into that one. It was so good, but check that one out. But I think Derek and I played a game that it's every year at PAX you come across a game that you've never heard of before. Like last year was Disco Elysium. I had never heard about it until I saw it at PAX. And this year it was a game called Night Call. It's made by this French studio. It's extremely RJ. It's a noir murder mystery game where he plays a cab driver being blackmailed by the French police. And this is why it's similar to NeoCab.
And this is my second favorite game of show.
Oh God, yeah. See, he gets it. And you get these people into your cabin. You have to like subtly interrogate them and try and figure out which of these 80 characters, any 20 of which will be procedurally added into your game, and the killer changes every gameplay, so you never know who's the killer, and you have to figure it out. And at the end of your day, you get put onto one of those like Charlie from It's Always Sunny boards with the string and this, and you have to try and piece together who this murderer in France is. And the atmosphere was so good in this game that he got the very first Saki Award of PAX.
Coveted.
And it was very coveted. And
coveted as fuck.
And this gentleman, he was the scenario writer for the game, was so tickled that our award was a sock, that he also pinned it to his booth. And Night Call was it's the game that other games like Creature in the Well, Overland, and stuff like we had seen announced beforehand. But this was the game that I had never heard of before. Went in. I had gone to Raw Fury to see Atomic Crops and Star Renegades, and then he was like, hey, we also have Night Call, and boom, just blew my mind.
I just want to point out to anybody who's going to listen to this later who's not watching it, Finn's camera did this weird focus thing, and for a minute I was like, why does Finn look like he just watched The Ring? Like, why? What's happening? But I just want to point out that like the Saki Award was coveted, right? Like
yes.
Developers go into these shows like thinking to themselves, you know, fuck game of the show. I don't need that. Am I getting a sock puppet? Like that's the question I have, and like that's I think Finn, I feel like that's where we're at now as a podcast. Is developers wanting the coveted Saki Award?
Yes, that was fun.
No, that's what I think. I mean, who else? Days Gone, the Days Gone folk, they got a Saki, didn't they?
Yeah. Days Gone got a Saki, and Dreams, I gave one on behalf of Justin because I ran into them.
Should I talk about that? I know we wanted to move on, but
I was going to actually have you and me and maybe somebody else record a separate thing because that's a 3-hour deal, and you were there for a while, and there's a lot to unpack there.
Well, I haven't talked about it. I met the developers of Dreams at E3. They had they had an off-site Q&A after PAX on that Friday, and so I met up with some of them at a bar, and I played the game with them and talked to them for a while. For those that don't know, it is coming into early access on April 16th, so very soon. And it's going to be $30 for the early access.
I'll pay it.
And in talking with them, I'm so excited. I mean, I've already talked quite a bit about how excited I am for Dreams, but like talking with the team and like how much thought they've put into every facet of the game, and like how much effort they're pouring into it, and how committed they are to, you know, the concept of Dreams. It's really exciting, and I think people are going to be really, really impressed once that hits.
I can't fucking wait. Just like, you know, the promise and the you know, the potential. I think the next big crop of devs are going to be found in Dreams. At least I hope they are. I do want to move on from the con talk and talk about something that happened the other day that I think is pretty cool, and I think bears discussion, just a little bit of discussion. And that is a series of tweets from Wario64 regarding Best Buy's SKU system. And a number of, hold on, Rebecca, what is this? What is this, Rebecca?
Sorry.
Why? What is this? What is this?
This Metroid.
So no, I'm not gonna lord it over. I'm not gonna gloat or anything because
yeah,
you
can't really gloat at this point.
This could be anything, right? Like this could be anything. So Wario64 tweeted out that a number of games were in the SKU system on the back end, like not at the front end of the register, but like at the back end, like the shit that only the employees can see at Best Buy. And the games were Persona 5S, Although it was just Persona 5 in the system.
Persona 5, but it was in the system for Switch.
For Switch, that's what I'm. Yeah, Metroid Prime Trilogy, a Link to the Past. Oddly enough, and I feel like I'm missing one. Am I missing one?
No.
Was that it? Okay, so let's talk about this.
No, what's his nuts tried to bring out Twilight Princess or something, but
something like that. Yeah, okay. Imran in chat says nope, it's those three. So I'm not going to sit here and say that means they're real, because I don't think that's what all joking aside.
Clarify this for the audience. So for the last 3 fucking Nintendo Directs, John has come into our DM.
It has been since the Game Awards. Since the Game Awards.
No, it's been longer than that. He's been talking about Metroid Prime Trilogy for longer than that. He's been talking about it for a while. It's been at least since I've known him. Every time there's a fucking Nintendo Direct, he's going they're gonna announce Metroid Prime.
So Rebecca,
hold on. I've got people telling me they're gonna do it. It's gonna happen. They're gonna do it. He's so convinced. He is positive. He's tweeting about it. He's in the DM about it. He is so sure they're gonna do it, and they never do. To be clear, I mean, again, I don't know anything. I have no sources. I have no knowledge of anything. I am 100% certain you're right. I am sure they are making the Metroid Prime trilogy.
It's already done.
I'm sure they're going to announce it in one of these directs at some point. But God, is it funny that you keep bringing it up?
Why would you laugh at my pain, Rebecca? Why would you laugh at my agony?
So good.
Oh, it's so bad.
And I just want them to keep prolonging it just for this.
That's terrible, Rebecca. Jeez.
Another prediction of John's that he was making up till recently was that Dreams wouldn't come out.
Yeah, Dreams.
Okay, you know what? Hold on. We're not here. No. All right, lads. We're not here to talk about. John's predictions. We're here to talk about this shit, the Best Buy system. And fucking Imran talking shit in chat. He says, I want to say it at least once. John asked me on Twitter if it's coming, and I went 100% because I thought it was funny. Thanks, Imran. Appreciate that.
Imran has been right enough that we all believe him, and so now he knows that he can just fuck with us and tell us shit is real when it's not.
So I guess Imran is of the opinion that this stuff is real. Although he doesn't know what's up with A Link to the Past. And I don't really know what's up with that either. Maybe he's just kidding. Maybe he does know. But I wanted to ask you guys, let's just, let's play devil's advocate and just pretend these are real. Like let's just say this is real, right? Does this mean that a Nintendo Direct is very soon in our future? Because I think we're due for one.
I mean, yes, in the sense that a Nintendo Direct is always in our future.
Sort of. Okay, you know what I mean, Rebecca.
No, but I don't. It's fucking April. The next big thing is going to be E3. I think it's a fair assumption that we maybe might have a small one before then, but
I think
yeah, I mean, maybe not. I mean, I don't know. I don't think this means anything. Listings go up all the time. Sometimes they're bullshit. Sometimes they're not. I think Metroid Prime Trilogy exists. I think Link to the Past is maybe a little weird. I would like to see some more clarification on what's going on there. But no, I don't think this means anything.
I think Persona 5 exists too on Switch. I think that's probably
it's been obvious since the Game Awards when they announced Joker in Smash.
That's just gonna
granted, that doesn't mean that. I mean, just because it's a Smash character doesn't mean that necessarily the game is coming. I mean, there's no Metal Gear games on Switch or even Wii U. There's no Cloud dropped in Smash Brothers when there was no hint of Final Fantasy VII coming.
I don't know, the Joker Persona thing, especially with how requested it is, I mean, that just seems like an obvious thing.
So I know Metroid Prime Trilogy predictions aside, it's real, it's a thing, it exists. Apparently it's been done for a while and they're just sitting on it. I'll kick it over to Josh. Josh, do you think that these, and because each one of them has its own separate SKU, right?
Sure.
So one, do you think these things are real? And two, if they are real, what the fuck is up with A Link to the Past?
That I have literally no answer, because I was reading that and my brain just kept trying to run through what that could mean.
I mean that couldn't mean a remake, right? That's ridiculous, right? They wouldn't do that.
It seems unlikely. I mean, and I think we're in a really weird world for gaming of late, so I think anything in theory could be possible. But I think unlikely. I don't know. The Persona Switch seems like a given. My curiosity is,
that makes sense.
Is it what was the term for the Royal Edition? Whatever, is it the full
version? So the Royal version is on like PS4, yeah. but the one on Switch is rumored to be called Persona 5S, not Persona 5R. And I'm betting it's going to be like a P4G deal. Okay. You know, something like that. I don't really know what that entails, but I mean, Persona 5 Switch is probably what it stands for. To be perfectly honest with you, that's what I would imagine. But again, the entry in Best Buy just says Persona 5, so maybe they're just going to call it Persona 5 on Switch. I have no idea. But isn't there supposedly some kind of rumored announcement from Atlas coming at the end of the month? I distinctly remember hearing that. It's
not rumored. They initially in March they had teased the Persona 5R announcement, and then then it was like, oh, Persona 5 Royal for PS4, and then come back on this date, and then that date ended up being just a new teaser on the site that said and something at the end of the month.
Gotcha. Okay, that makes sense. I don't know if this shit is real. I mean, I just want fucking Metroid Prime Trilogy on Switch, guys. That's all I care about. But I don't know. Like the Link's Awakening thing kind of got me I'm sorry, not Link's Awakening. A Link to the Past. Simply because we know we're getting that remake of Link's Awakening this year, and I'm wondering if they would release two 2D Zeldas in the same year. Or I don't know. Like maybe Link's Awakening or a Link to the Past is some kind of a bonus for pre-ordering Link's Awakening.
Someone at Best Buy's a dumbass. I mean,
it's possible. I mean, this could. I mean, Reb makes a good point. Like, Rebecca, are you suggesting that maybe this is supposed to be Link's Awakening and somebody just fucking entered it wrong?
Apparently, Link's Awakening is already listed, so that seems unlikely. But it's like, it's most. I don't know. Like, it just seems. It does seem really weird. I don't know what to make of it, and I am not, I write for a game site, and I feel like I always have to like preface things by saying I don't know anything. I don't know anything. Like, no one tells me anything. Nintendo especially doesn't tell me anything. So I have no idea. It just seems very weird. And it seems especially weird because I feel like if it's getting a Best Buy listing, I feel like we already would have heard about it from somewhere, even just in the rumory fuzzy sense.
So what if this is actually Cadence of Hyrule?
I mean, that title is so different. Like,
it is. But I mean, Cadence of Hyrule, like it's got bosses that are ripped right out of A Link to the Past.
It could be. I mean, it could really be a lot of different things. It could be like just a port. It could be a Link's Awakening type thing. It could be nothing. I mean, I don't know. I don't think we have enough. It's like those math problems in grade school. It's not enough information. We don't have enough information to say anything.
Well,
it's just weird.
Bold prediction: Nintendo Direct next week. Predicting it right now. Calling it right now.
No.
We're gonna get it. We're gonna get it.
Okay. What am I going to do on stream next week? If you're right.
You know what?
What's the bet?
You know what?
What?
I'll tell you what. If I'm wrong,
I don't think there's a fucking Nintendo Direct.
No. If there's no Nintendo Direct next week,
okay,
let's make it fun. Rebecca will pick my headgear for the next 2 podcasts.
Okay. Out of what options? Like, is just
whatever you want. Whatever you want. Tell me to do it, and I'll do it.
Okay.
How about that? It's right here, publicly.
Okay, and if I'm wrong, if there is a Nintendo Direct, what do I do?
Oh man, this is tough. Imran
has not told me anything. I don't fucking know about any Nintendo Directs.
Rebecca, let me sleep on it, and we'll announce it publicly tomorrow on Twitter.
Oh God, okay.
Let me think about it. I need to think about this one. And we're kind of bumping up against our time, so I do want to start wrapping up here. I just want to mention, by the way, that Yoshi's Crafted World is fucking wholesome and beautiful.
Oh my God!
If you're not playing it, you fucking need to be because.
I keep seeing you two talking such nice things about the game. I hated the demo so much.
Oh no!
Why did you hate it, Josh?
No,
it was
pure.
I thought it was pure. I thought it was nice. I thought the music was super repetitive and gave me a headache.
Okay, that is literally my only criticism about
the music
it.
Isn't
it
great.
Has like one track.
Yeah, it was one track, and the gameplay just didn't super appeal to me. My only interest in it is if my oldest kid was maybe a little bit older, I would like to play with him, because it looks like something I would love to play with him. But for me personally, I just looked at it. I'm like, this is cute. This isn't for me.
That's my brand, though.
That used to be my brand. With gaming, I don't know. I must have like gone sideways at some point.
I mean, I just love Nintendo platformers. So
Yeah.
hey, Bad Bit game. By the way,
There
hey.
are also. Oh hey. Yeah.
Bad Bit is the guy, Rebecca, who recorded that very sweet video for you.
I know that was him.
Okay, just making sure. Just making sure.
I know, and that was so sweet, and thank you. Josh, like if you're not into that, it's not your thing. There are some levels at the end. I cannot wait for Josh to get there. I beat the game last night, and holy shit, there is this one level at the end, like it's basically a mock horror game, and it's so good.
I'm gonna fucking play it as soon as we're done here.
So fucking good. And there's this other level. Okay, you know what? I'm just gonna talk about it. John, take off your headset if you don't want spoilers. There is this level at the end where you're like, this is towards the end of the game. You're playing and it's like space themed, and you're going through like the space environment, and then you get in a little like paper rocket ship, and it blasts you off, and you think the level's over, right? But the level's not over. You arrive on the moon, and there's a gap, and so you jump and you go like, because it's the moon and there's no gravity. And I know that sounds like so dumb and simple, but it made me so happy.
Saki wants me to tell you she is having a lot of fun playing Yoshi.
I'm done talking about it. John can come back. Come back. I just wanted. It just made me so happy.
I just want you to know that like all I heard was like some muffled talking, and then Rebecca's voice going really high, and I couldn't understand what was happening. I just heard like squee, and I was like, Rebecca's great.
It's such a good game.
So we'll go ahead and wrap it up here. Does Josh, dude, thanks for joining us, man. You're not a guest, you're a friend. You're a friend, dude.
I like being here. It's fun. I like getting to hang out with you guys and meet everyone that other than John.
So we're awesome. We're cool. We're everybody's good looking. Like it's all good here. And because everybody's good looking, you fit right in. It's all natural. It's natural. You're
I had to think about that
natural. You're a natural fit. No, you're a natural fit because you're good looking.
I'm so happy I finally got to be on a podcast with you.
This is literally, I've been waiting to be on a podcast with Reb. Like, the moment, for those not in this, John invited me into the chat and then invited her. And the moment I got very giddy. And very excited.
Rebecca.
Thank you.
Rebecca,
so sweet.
Rebecca, he actually he pinned me against a wall in an alley in Boston and put a knife to my throat. He said, if you don't get me on a podcast with Rebecca, you're a dead man. And I was like, "Wow!"
Please,
I was like,
enough me to go around.
I was like, Josh, that's a little dark, but yeah, sure, that's fine.
Also,
John, that's a little dark.
Guys,
that's not what I remember penning for.
Don't let John in this podcast before I do what we promised chat at the very start of this show.
Oh, real quick! But hey, before we do that, Finn, Imran wants to know: did we ever settle if John is Solid Snake?
John is not Solid Snake. Derek is Solid Snake.
Derek is Solid Snake. I think I'm more of like a big boss.
Thanks, Imran. I win. We had a disagreement as to whether or not you were Solid Snake, and I was saying Derek was Solid Snake.
Derek is Solid Snake, and I'm Big Boss, right? Like I feel like I'm more of a big boss.
I think you're Venom Snake.
Thank you.
Venom Snake? Do you think, Finn?
Yeah.
Or Punish Snake? Venom Snake or Punish Snake?
You're all right. I'll give you Punish Snake.
Punish Snake? You think maybe? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm Otacon.
Yeah, like I just need an eye patch. Maybe I'll wear an eye patch in the next episode. I'll be Big Boss. So Finn is going to do some kind of a dramatic reading for us, I think, before we leave.
So
I'm so excited.
Allow me to paint this picture for you. Set the stage.
By the way, Finn, can you please confirm I'm a fun drunk?
John is a very fun drunk, as I'm sure our Uber driver back to the hotel will attest to. John is a happy drunk, which is nice. You don't know how people are gonna go when they've had, what was it, John, 6 old fashions?
A lot.
In a rapid succession of time.
It was a lot.
It's not his fault.
An industry event.
It was a lot.
Other people bought them for him. It's fine.
It was a lot.
So John started tweeting, and don't worry, I'll also tell you about the Uber ride because I'm pretty sure John does not remember any of the things he said.
I remember some of it.
So, and none of it's bad. Like, none of this is going to be like milkshake ducking John. Like, this is all very wholesome drunk stuff.
I feel like you wouldn't put it on this podcast if you were milkshake ducking.
Oh, of course not. But I mean, John's the kind of person where you don't even have to worry about that. So it's fine.
Exactly.
Okay, so it starts with update. I am drunk. No, I'm sorry. I apologize. It starts with announcement. I'm drunk, comma, good night. Followed by, several minutes later, update. I am drunk, all capitalized. Followed by a deleted tweet or someone that blocked me. Who knows? And it just says, hello, however. It must be stressed that it was spelled HLO because that's where we are at this point.
Hello.
Then, and this is my favorite part because someone didn't know who Vicky was. And they're calling to me and like, what is John doing? Because the next tweet is, hey, Vicky, his wife, you're hot as fuck. And fuck is misspelled. So if you didn't know that was his wife, that could have gotten a little dicey. But we're good. We're still trucking along. We're good. Then the best one is, this is what starts the bread and butter of this entire night, which is hello K. And then our very own Josh.
John, do you remember any of this?
I remember some of it, like flashes, you know, like it happened to somebody else, but not to me.
Our very own Josh here goes, go to bread, John, which I don't know if that was on purpose.
Go to bread?
Yeah.
It's an old Simpsons joke.
He was, yeah, he was telling me to go get that bread.
And then he goes, I still don't know what John meant by this. Do not Y11. Like, do not ye? Are you trying to say do not Y2K?
I don't fucking know, dude. I was like 5-6 old fashions in at this point.
I may have been in the bar looking at, like, I think I showed that to Dave Oshry, trying to decipher what the hell.
Look, friends don't let friends Y11, okay?
He immediately followed it up with, I believe Y11 was one half of what he meant to say, because the second half of that sentence is, tell me to slepple. And so it's do not Y11, tell me to slepple. And then slepple just became a thing because immediately Rev jumps in and goes, John, slepple. And Josh goes, very slepple, please. Some of us need to live vicariously through your slepple.
I don't remember tweeting that.
Well, you did. Aiden Strawhun.
By the way,
Imran in chat says Slepple is Odin's horse.
I don't want it to be a real thing.
This is after we were all in bed and assumed John was as well.
No. This is before we left. You guys had already left.
No, but I'm pretty sure this is after, because I didn't see it till the next morning.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Because then Aiden Strawhun replies, you slepple, Josh. And John pops back in, do king indeed, which I'm pretty sure was supposed to be fucking, and then auto-corrected to ducking, and then he tried to fix it, but instead of deleting the D, he deleted the C and turned it into 2 words. So after that, we get, y'all, listen, which is everyone's favorite drunken way to start a
Of
sentence.
course, yes.
Y'all, listen.
We know it's
You're
coming.
You're all wonderful. Also, however, props to him for using the correct form of your. You're all wonderful, and I had a good PAX with you, and KM going to sleep now. So it wasn't, this time it wasn't slepple, but it still wasn't sleep. And then he goes, I'm so glad I'm got to see everyone this week. I'm really happy. And then what was an attempt at a smiley face, immediately followed by, that was supposed to be a smiley face. And then, this is my favorite ever. Fuck, I've forgotten to brush in my tether. Amazing. That is the king. It's almost as good as Slepple because he's forgotten to brushing his tether. Okay.
You gotta fucking, like.
Okay, Fareek now. I'm going to bed. Listen, you are all windful.
I think you killed
and
Rebecca.
I'm happy I know you. You make .y life better. Good night. And then he wakes up the next day. I refuse to delete my drunk tweets. Sorry. And you think at the end of it, however, in between these moments, we take a lift back home from the West.
Well, hold on, real quick, Finn. We need to check on Rebecca. Is she Rebecca? Okay. Are you with us? Like, is she?
All right, Reb.
Somebody call Rebecca an ambulance.
Because Reb, I'm about to tell you exactly how John gets when he meets new friends while drunk.
Oh boy.
We get into the Uber.
Oh no.
And the first thing John says, he gets in, sits down, I'm fucking drunk, I'm sorry. And she goes, you can see the panic in her face because she's like, well, her first thing is, do you need a bag? She's like, do not throw. And he goes, no, I'm good. I'm just sorry because I talk a lot when I'm drunk and I'm fucking drunk. And he just starts it's adorable. And then there's some reading of street signs as we're driving by. And then he starts telling her about how, don't worry, we're gamers, but good gamers.
Don't worry, we're gamers.
No, okay.
Holy shit, John.
Earlier in the night, we had taken a lift where the guy wanted to do some riddles or something.
Can I point out, I was sarcastic. This is sarcastic.
Yeah, sure. Are you guys smart? And John just yells out, "Oh yeah, we're gamers!" And I almost shot myself in the face.
I'm gonna be thinking about "Don't worry, we're gamers" for weeks.
Imran in chat says, Imran says, "Don't worry, ma'am, gamers are here." Like I pull out a fucking badge, like a limo driver in fucking in the Jim Carrey movie.
Don't worry, man. The gamers.
We're gamers. Pull out a badge.
All right.
I want an official SDGC shirt that says "Don't worry, we're gamers."
Holy shit! That's actually not a bad idea.
Anyway,
it's a bad idea.
No, it's a good idea.
Oh, it's a terrible idea, and I want to wear
some gamer fuel wearing that shit.
The rest of the ride was different variations of that, but
you remember? I was like, I smell fucking weed. I do remember that.
I didn't know if you wanted me to bring that part up because
Go ahead.
Then John just goes, I smell fucking weed. And Derek's like, yeah, someone must have been smoking. And
it was totally the fucking driver. She was fucking blazing it up.
But then John just goes, I fucking want a joint so bad right now. But I can't.
I was so fucking hammered, dude.
Work.
I was so fucking hammered, man. And then I remember this much. Like we got back to the hotel room and I took my socks off and threw them across the hotel room. It was like, what up, boys?
Do you promptly remember slamming your shin into your cot?
No, I don't remember that. But
because you fell onto your bed and you were like, my fucking shit.
Oh my god, John. Can I also just throw out to the people in chat asking for a shirt that "Don't worry, we're gamers" sounds like one of those shitty shirts they sell every year at E3.
It sounds like that's like some Walmart shit. That's like the 3 Wolf Moon shirt of gamers.
Yeah. Or it's like the GameStop shirt they were selling for a while. It was pink and it said "Gamer Girl" on it. Like Jesus Christ. Okay, I'm sorry, Finn. Please carry.
No, that was it. That's my recollection of John's amazing drunken night.
If you're gonna be at PAX West, don't worry. I'll get hammered again. It's okay. I want to
get drunk with you. This sounds great.
I'll get drunk. I'm a fucking cool drunk, Rebecca. I'm a cool fucking drunk.
You sound like a really cool drunk. I also get really happy when drunk. I think we'll have a good time.
Same. It's good to be a happy drunk.
There's no when I'm wasted. There's no anger here. It's all joy. It's all happiness. You know.
No. And then you go to Slepple.
And then I go to Slepple. Like after a while, when you're drunk, you got to Slepple that shit off. You know, you got to fucking
gamers. Oh my god, I'm gonna be thinking about that for weeks. Fuck you.
PAX West, this PAX one was like the first time I had been drunk in a very long time, and John might remember me at the messenger party, and that was.
I do.
That was the fact that Greg Miller allowed me to come on kind of games daily after that blows my mind.
You weren't Slepple bad though.
I literally at one point after talking to Greg turn around to go to the. I just loudly said, "I gotta fucking pee." Turn around, go to the bathroom, and Justin grabs the drink out of my hand, pats me back, and says, "You're okay, baby. Everything's gonna be okay tonight."
Oh, great!
And because I was so gone.
But did you forgotten to brush in your tether that night?
I'm good with my tether.
Did you brush in your tether? Okay, good. I just want to make sure.
At the kind of funny meetup in Kansas City, Nick came to a small group of us that were standing in the front of the door, and he was like, we're gonna go get some Nutter Butters. So a group of like 10 of us went down the street to just some grocery store with Nick, and we got like 4 packages of Nutter Butters, and we came back and we like went back into you're not really supposed to bring packages of Nutter Butters into a bar. Sure. And apparently this is some inside joke that I'm not aware of, which is fine. But we passed out individual Nutter Butters to everyone in this place is like packed. And we passed them out, and I guess it's some inside joke that makes Greg like funny upset, like not actually upset, but like, oh my god, what is wrong with you people, kind of upset. Yeah. And so we told everybody to, when they're shaking his hand, to like slip him a Nutter Butter, and the whole night people are like trying to slip Nutter Butters into his pocket and like into his bags and stuff, and so he's just like constantly getting these unexpected Nutter Butters, and then he gets like mad and he like throws them, and so Greg puts up with anything is my point.
Rebecca in chat, Imran says, did you brush in your tether is like what you'd expect Beowulf to ask someone before he kills them.
Fucking God, Imran.
Did you brush in your tether? Like,
Imran, you are my favorite person for wordplay.
If you say that angry, it really sounds like a did you brush in your tether? It sounds very, very threatening. Like, that's like something that like an old-timey 1800s British like thug asks a victim. He's like, "Aye, did you brush in your tether?"
I want to hear, what is his name? Christopher Judge, the guy who did God of War voice. Like, I want to hear him say that.
Did you brush in your tether?
Oh,
that sounds like something a Witcher NPC would say.
It does.
All right.
Don't worry about that, man. Like, Greg is the nicest human being. It's not even a thing. Like, he's just a fucking human being, and he's so nice.
This is the
thing everybody told me before I went on Games Daily. They just said he is an incredible... Crap, what did they say? He's an incredible... what did you say, John? I just lost my mind.
He's an incredible person. I don't know what I just said.
No,
but he's
there's something... I don't know. He's just great.
He's great. He always brushes his tether.
He does.
Like, he never forgets that shit.
He gets plenty of Slapple.
He gets lots of Slapple, and he's just a great guy. Greg's a fucking great guy. So let's go and wrap it up here, because we're 10 minutes past. If Zach were here, he'd be fucking like, come on, guys, we're fucking late.
He'd be making that face that he made at all the photos at PAX.
He will. Oh, Zach is fucking great. He ate, by the way, he ate my cookie, by the way. I brought all those chunky cookies.
He did.
And he fucking ate my cookie. He had his cookie, and then he ate mine. That son of a bitch didn't tell me about it until later. Like, I was
Zach
all
so much.
Fucking Zach. God damn it, eating my fucking cookies. Anyway.
He's so good.
So it's been a wild ride tonight. We had a really good time. My allergies are still kicking, but as soon as we're done here, I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna play a little more Yoshi's Crafted World, because that game is good and pure, and we need more things in this world that are good and pure, like Yoshi's Crafted World. Thank you to everybody in chat who turned out tonight. We had a good crowd tonight. Thanks for the conversation, and thanks to our buddy Josh for joining us. And as always, everybody, it's not always poetry, and we don't always agree, but we always keep it real. So until next time, we will see you next week. Please take care of each other, and have a good weekend.
Bye.
And don't forget to brush in your tether. Get plenty of Slapple tonight. Lots of Slapple.